First to make his way to the glory ring, he has an impressive 7-1 record in Thailand's famed Lumpini Stadium. Please welcome Anwar Бойназаров.
"26-year-old Anvar Uzbek Бойназаров making his first walk to the glory ring. Spent the last 2 months training in Sacramento, California at Valor Training Center from Uzbekistan, but now spending much of his time in Thailand. And in fact, that is where his wife, Surirat, and their son, Mujahid, who was born just 6 weeks ago, that's where they will be watching tonight. He is yet to see his son in person thanks to technology, FaceTime. Until he has been able to at least share smiles with his newborn baby boy. He's a man who loves watching Buakaw Banchamek, who, let's face it, Fight Professor, probably the most successful fighter to make the transition from Muay Thai to kickboxing.
I'm glad you brought that point up because that transition is essential for a Бойназаров. But one thing he's got, and he exhibited this in Thailand, he uses a lot of power punches to go through that iron guard of most Muay Thai fighters that he's fought.
This man makes his second glory appearance after an impressive knockout in his debut. He is Giga Chikadze.
Well, in life, you get one chance to make a first impression. This 26-year-old Giga Chikadze made a lasting impression in his glory debut. One might say it was simply spectacular. You talk about an awesome kicking game. He threw an axe kick, rolling thunder, and the question mark kick, and there is no question he has a bright future in the glory featherweight division as he manhandled Canadian veteran Ken Tran, stopping him in the second round with a brutal left kick to the body. Comes into tonight's fight with a record of 33-3 with 20 stoppage victories.
And there has something to be said when you start training in martial arts at 4 or 5 years old. You kind of got it when you're a teenager, and if you can stay disciplined long enough to get into your early adult phases, you're going to be like Giga Chikadze is. High kicks, showtime kicks, rolling thunder kicks. You can expect everything from this guy.
We are set for action in the glory featherweight division. Giga Chikadze from Tbilisi, Republic of Georgia, now fighting out of Huntington Beach, California, taking on Anvar Uzbek Бойназаров, who is making his glory debut.
Yeah, the height notwithstanding, the one figure you do not see here is the 100 fights that Бойназаров has, and that is an intimidating factor. But Giga Chikadze has never fought Muay Thai, so you don't have to worry about not throwing an elbow or not clinching, so it's a psychological thing.
The rest of the fights on this edition of the Glory Super Fight Series will be scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Here once again is Tim Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the glory featherweight division. Introducing first, standing on my right and fighting out of the black corner, a 2-time WMF Muay Thai world champion, a veteran at over 100 career fights, with an impressive record of 78 wins and 20 losses. 2 bouts scored even, 45 of those wins coming by way of knockout. At 5 feet 9 inches tall, 1.75 meters, he weighed in at 144.5 pounds, 65.5 kilos, fighting tonight out of Uzbekistan. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Anvar Бойназаров. Here now is his opponent, fighting out of the white corner, a karate black belt who debuted at Glory 21 San Diego. His professional record, 33 wins with just 3 losses, 20 of those wins by knockout. At 6 feet even, 1.83 meters, he weighed in at 146 pounds, 66.2 kilos. He fights tonight out of the Republic of Georgia. Introducing Giga Chikadze. And your referee in charge of this bout is Steve Mazzagatti.
Good crowd forming here at the joint at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Бойназаров got into Taekwondo at the age of 12. At 20, moved to Thailand to train full-time in Muay Thai. His opponent Chikadze started training in karate at the age of 4, started kickboxing at 15. Referee is Steve Mazzagatti. The bell, and round 1 scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Chikadze changing stances already and going on the attack upstairs.
Бойназаров moving straight forward also.
And while Бойназаров has a technical Muay Thai game, Steven, also a powerful puncher, can stop the fight by knockout with one blow.
And that's the thing he's bringing right now is his punching. He's hardly throwing any kicks at all.
And while Бойназаров has a huge edge in professional experience, Chikadze had over 200 amateur fights between karate and kickboxing. He lived in the Netherlands for 8 years, training with the likes of Cor Hemmers, Mike Passanier, and Ivan Hippolyte. Now a member of King's MMA in California, and what an army of fighters Rafael Cordero is putting together in his gym. 2 UFC champions, heavyweight kingpin Fabricio Verdum, lightweight champion Rafael Dos Anjos, and this youngster with a very bright future in kickboxing, Giga Chikadze.
Chikadze is in with great company in that gym at King's MMA. Oh, nice left high kick there by Chikadze. Бойназаров has really roughed him up, though, on the inside a little bit.
But now Chikadze beginning to find his rhythm with these array of kicks. An axe kick, we saw that in his first fight. The push kick. If a kick has a name, Chikadze knows how to throw it. Flying knee.
Yeah, the stair climb jump. Oh, man.
Rolling capo kick. We saw him throw an amazing array of kicks in that fight against Tran. I've already talked about it, but I mean, it's just poetry in motion. But Бойназаров walking through them now, closing the distance.
Because Бойназаров has walked straight forward, he's gotten hit with some good shots, and now he's bleeding.
Бойназарov 7-1 in fights at the iconic Lumpini Stadium, the Madison Square Garden of Muay Thai. There, what little capoeira from Chikadze. And switching stances to a southpaw, so trying to discombobulate Бойназаров, who's coming forward in a straight line, not taking his head off center.
Yeah, and he said he was going to use angles, but he hasn't done that yet. Dragon sweep. We're getting the textbook here, thrown at Бойназаров by Giga Chikadze.
And Бойнаzarov's face beginning to look like Carrie on prom night. 20 seconds left in the opening round.
Бойназарov continues to march forward, but he's eating shots occasionally.
Stiff jabs there by Chikadze through the guard. Outside low kick. There's a question mark kick blocked by Бойназаров, but Chikadze beginning to find his rhythm with these kicks. Great opening round. Man, an amazing story that Chikadze, as we look at Бойназаров being tended to by the preeminent cut man in all of combat sports, Stitch Duran. If anyone can stop the bleeding, it's Stitch.
He's a hero in the cut man game and a hero in the fight world. Respect.
Anwar, put the pressure on, let your hands go.
Really whipped out the mojo with his kicking attack there in the first round. But it wasn't all kicks.
Anwar. Hey, you okay? Put the pressure on, man. Hands up, hands up. Put the pressure on. Second round. Second round.
Chikadze blasting away with punches from the outside. Stair climb, knee up the middle.
All right, second down, let's go.
Chikadze with moral. I love that. It's basically a somersault kick.
Right. For my other endeavors, it's the rolling capo kick. Second round begins, and immediately Chikadze mixing up his punches and kicks, switching to a southpaw stance. Catches the kick, sweeps the leg. Knee to the midsection. It's all Chikadze here to kick off round 2. How'd you score the opening 3 minutes, Fight Professor?
Well, that was a solid 10-9 for Giga Chikadze, for sure. Based on the kicks, the control, the damage done.
It was a year ago this month that Chikadze visited Los Angeles on his final day before heading back to the Netherlands. Rafael Cordero invited him to spar at King's MMA. He impressed them and invited him back in October. Chikadze decided to bring his wife, who is now expecting their second child, and their 5-year-old daughter to America to live at the beginning of the new year. And boy, has that proven to be a wise investment, although Бойназаров cut. Chikadze knocked him off balance.
And he had a flying knee that almost caught him earlier, right before that.
And beautiful left hooks to the body, mixing up the body attack is Бойназаров.
And Chikadze running away with the strikes here in round number 1, 24-14, 34%, high ratio.
And there's a jumping knee by Бойназаров.
Бойназарov is getting back in this fight.
Yep, beginning to find his rhythm. Lands the jab. Chikadze needs to utilize that footwork as he's standing right in front of the attacking Бойназаров. Just past the midpoint of the second round, and Бойназаров corners Chikadze. Left hook to the body, beginning to just pepper Chikadze with these punches. Uppercut, jab through the guard.
Man.
So it was Chikadze putting a show on in round 1. Бойназаров in his glory debut trying to steal some of that thunder in round 2.
He's really pressing the action here and being very successful at dictating where the fight is held. Бойназаров really landed some clean shots there, and that was a good right hand right there.
Under a minute left in the second. Left hand to the jaw by Бойназаров, a jumping knee that Chikadze avoids.
Chikadze's mouth is open.
Yes, I was going to just say, Stephen, he seems to be fatiguing here in round 2.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, because when you got a bull like Бойназарov in front of you, that's going to happen right there. Look at this punch combination. Partly blocked, but he's aggressive nonetheless.
Right uppercut, jack the jaw, Бойназаров, but then his head gets popped back like that proverbial Pez dispenser from a shot from Бойназарov. Jumping knee. We are seeing everything in this fight, and we anticipated fireworks when this fight was announced. Giga Chikadze, and in looking at tape on Anwar Бойназарov, it's a clash of styles, but man, styles make fights, Stephen.
Yes, they do, Morrow.
Great round of action and a much better round for Бойназарov.
Yeah, Бойназарov definitely took that round, in my opinion. He got busy. He thought to himself, if Giga Chikadze is going to fade, then I'm going to jump on him. I'm going to take this round. I'm going to bust him up.
No. Hands up. Anwar, listen to me. Use your punches. He's tired. The flying knee's perfect.
Бойназарov really pressed the action, and he did it.
What is it?
Mainly with punches, but occasionally he threw kicks like that one. It was mainly a push, so it's not ruled a knockdown. Chikadze wide open, but he partially blocked that flying knee.
So, even after 2, Stephen?
I would have to say so. Бойназаров definitely won the second round.
The third and final round underway. That high kick blocked by Chikadze as we look at the stats here pertaining to the strikes. And while we have a moment, Chikadze slowing down. We talked about it in that second round. One of the factors may be the fact that he told us, Stephen, he had to lose 40 pounds for this fight during training camp because he made the move from lightweight to featherweight. One wonders if the weight cut is impacting him.
That'll have a factor, but there was a lot of gymnastics, and I've always said this, kicks take a lot more energy than punches, especially when you leave the ground like that. It works great in movies, but in a real fight, sometimes you do get tired.
And there's the strikes landed by round.
So it's clear that Chikadze won the first, Бойназаров won the second, and Chikadze pressing the action so far, doing well in the third. This fight is up for grabs.
Body kick, liver kick there by Chikadze, misses with the right hook. Бойназаров trying to establish the jab, using it more as a range finder. Probably trying to set him up for a knee attack. Again, a Muay Thai practitioner who's had, well, 100 fights coming into this, his glory debut. Exchange kicks.
I think they're both on that gasoline reserve now. so it's going to be a stand and trade situation.
Chikadze fighting out of the southpaw stance, just ate a straight right hand and a jab, and another jab from Бойназаров.
What I'm seeing here is that Бойназаров is able to hurt Chikadze, but the reverse is not true.
Knee from Бойназаров. Chikadze coming forward. A minute left in the fight.
I think you made a great point about that weight cut affecting the cardiovascular of Chikadze, because he's definitely fading here.
Jab from Chikadze, side steps the right hand from Бойназаров, puts together a simple 1-2 through the guard of Бойназарov. Бойназарov feinting, maybe telegraphing a flying knee. 40 seconds left in the round.
I don't think he's going to do a flying knee, not this late in the round. He's gassing a little bit too.
Coming down to the final 30 seconds. Chikadze takes a big gulp. There's a tornado kick from Бойназаров. So after electric action in the first 2 rounds, they seem to have emptied their tanks, although Бойназаров coming forward, swinging wildly.
Wow.
A side headlock employed by Chikadze. Final seconds of the fight.
Бойназарov seems to be the more muscular there in the clinches now.
And the fight comes to an end. A terrific battle that, conditioning may have played a factor there in the end. A cut over the right eye of Бойназаров that was never a factor thanks to that man stitched around. How do you have it on your unofficial scorecard?
I got Бойназарov winning that last round. I think that he was the fresher fighter. They both landed so much. It was really hard to score that last round, but I think that he put the most pressure and did it the tiniest bit more damage.
So Бойназарov looking for a victory in his glory debut. Chikadze won his glory debut, and while we have a moment, wanted to mention, he asked us to say this, and it didn't take much for me to agree to say this. After his mother's death from cancer in 2013, Chikadze and his sister started the charity Knockout Cancer. He donates a portion of his fight purses to the fund. Last year, he helped nearly 30 cancer patients get better. Not surprisingly, they are as big a supporters. Stephen, all of us have been affected by cancer in one form or another, and I hope we all live to see the day where we knock out the big C permanently.
Absolutely.
All right, let's look at the final stats for what was a terrific featherweight matchup. Dead even when it comes to punches landed. Slight edge in the kicking department for Chikadze. They each landed 3 knees, and Chikadze with a 6-strike edge when all was said and done. So a very competitive battle between Chikadze in his sophomore outing as a glory fighter and the debuting Anwar Бойназарov. And we saw a veritable cornucopia of kicks from Chikadze in the first round, and then Бойназарov going to his Muay Thai with the knees, the front kicks knocking Chikadze off balance. Бойназарov putting together good combinations. And then in the third round, they seem to fade down the stretch with Бойназарov on the attack. Good counter from Chikadze. So in the end, it's up to the 3 judges chosen by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. They will decide who is victorious in what was a hotly contested glory featherweight fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. They give us a split decision. Judge Dave Moretti scores the bout 29-28 Chikadze. Judge Glenn Trowbridge scores the bout 29-28 Бойназаров. And Judge Camijo scores the bout 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Anwar Бойназаров.
Anwar Бойназарov records a razor-thin split decision win over Giga Chikadze in his glory debut. Chikadze looked great in his first fight in glory, defeating Ken Tran, and he tastes defeat for the first time thanks to the efforts of Anwar Бойназарov. And he's standing by with the fight professor.
Anwar, that was a tough fight any way you slice it. Give us your thoughts on winning.
Yeah, I'm happy to win. Thank you for Glory Management give me this fight. And thank you my family, thank you my Waller family, Sacramento. Thank you my coach, Jonathan Bangam, my brother, Deutsch Poo. Thank you everyone, thank you, I'm happy.
You were very, very determined. It seemed like you lost the first round, came back hard in that second round. What do you think was the deciding factor in you winning the fight?
Yeah, because so I come from Muay Thai, right? So first round, maybe I use Muay Thai style. So second round, I get attack after.
Congratulations, you've got to be proud of yourself. Let's hear it one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Anwar Бойназаров.